Will there be any changes on this coaching staff? I talk about that and answer one of you guys' comments a day about what the flip happened in San Fran and the Chargers. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, I'm going to be talking about the coaching staff, and I'm not talking about Mike McDaniel. Honestly, I don't. He's not going nowhere. He's not going anywhere, nowhere, no how, no way. He's the coach for the Miami Dolphins in 2023. But is the rest of the coaching staff safe? That's what we're going to talk about. And like I said, one of you guys asked me a very good comment of the day, kind of pinpointing what happened to the offense in the San Fran game and how can we fix that. But before we jump into all that good stuff, we broke 39,000 subscribers. And I want to take a moment and thank you guys from the deep down bottom of my heart. We are now 1,000 subscribers away from 40,000. And when we break 40,000, I am doing a giveaway. What am I going to give away? I don't know, but it needs to be 40,000 subscribers worth. Not $40,000 because I don't have $40,000, but it needs to be big. Like real big. Will it be a jersey? Will it be something cool? Will I give away multiple things? I think I did that for 30K. I think I gave away 3 different things for 30K. Didn't I do like a live giveaway and then trivia questions and then I gave away like a hat, a shirt, and then like a painting? I'm going to do something big for 40K, but we broke 39. I love you all very, very much. Even the people who aren't big fans of me because they think I'm a too and near. I appreciate the crap out of everyone who subscribes, everyone who comments, everyone who listens, everyone who shares, my moderators, the patrons, the members, every single one. You guys listening to this on your way to the work, you listening to this at work, you listen to this while you're working out, while you're cleaning the house, all that good stuff. The support that you guys show me motivates me to do better. This background's going to change again for the new season. I'm going to get a new, different background. I want to clean it up a little bit, make it a little fancy. But this is going to be different. New intro for the new season. That's going to be on March when the new year kicks off. I have so very much planned. And I want to thank you guys for breaking 30. Help me. You guys broke 39,000. I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here telling you my thoughts and opinions, and you guys like it. You guys did this, and that's why when we break 40, I'm getting you guys something. But thank you. Seriously, thank you. I'm spent like 3 minutes sitting here thanking you guys, but it's well worth it because you guys are amazing, and I love you all. Thank you. So let's talk about the coaching. Now, will there be coaching changes? And I was going to do this video maybe like next week or something because I have a lot planned for this week. There's still a lot of videos I want to get done, and then there's videos next week I want to get done, and videos the week after I want to get done, all that good stuff. But the reason I ask, essentially, is there, going to be a change is because of this. Dolphins passing game coordinator / quarterback coach Daryl Bevell informed the Jets and the Commanders he's declining an interview for their offensive coordinator job, per source. Bevell is well respected and figures to have other opportunities in this cycle, but as of now, his plans is to stay in Miami. That made me so happy. I heard about it, right? One of you beautiful human beings on Twitter told me about it and said, I heard that the Jets are kind of interested in Bevell to be their offensive coordinator. I was like, no. Bevell was one of my favorite signings when it came to the assistants. I love Bevell and what he did with the pass game and what he did with Tua more specifically. And I was like, please, God, no. And he essentially did the same thing that the offensive coordinator for the Lions did, where they were just like, look, we're building something good here. I'm going to stick around. I really like the way the offense is going, the way this team is going. And he's not wrong. So Daryl Bevell is going nowhere, and I'm fantastically happy about that. Just makes me very, very happy. But then something else came to my eyes from January 16th. This is from Jordan Schultz. He said, sources, the Dolphins are expected to look at making some staff changes, specifically on the defensive side where Mike McDaniel inherited most of the staff from Brian Flores. And that is where we start the video. And that's where I start to talk about all of those things, because what does he mean by that? Now, obviously, the defensive side, like he said, was inherited from Brian Flores. So he didn't really pick and choose who he wanted on this defensive side. Sam Madison he brought in. I don't see Sam Madison going anywhere. I think he did a fantastic job with the corners, especially with Kader Kohu. I don't see him going anywhere. But again, it's the thought of Josh Boyer. Is Josh Boyer safe? Now, I understand that he did a lot with nothing. And there was a lot of instances where we lost by one score, and there was opportunity to win the game. But also the flip can be said. And if you guys remember a while back, I talked about Barry Jackson's article where he said towards the end of the game when the Dolphins needed the defense to make one stop, they allowed for 4+ minute drives to kill the game because the defense couldn't make the stop. Now, will Josh Boyer be fired? I don't know. Mike McDaniel even came out and he says it's a little too soon for him to decide. He kind of wants to take a minute, look at things. So as of me recording this, and then you guys are seeing this Thursday at 10 a.m., will there be changes? I don't know, and I don't think anytime soon. I think that's something that's probably going to be a slow churner when it comes to that. But I thought, let's say if Josh Boyer does get fired, who are some defensive coordinators that I would like the Dolphins to go after? And then I'll talk about other positions potentially that could be fired. Now, if Josh Boyer does get fired, I wrote down 4 names that I would love for the Dolphins to go after. 3 of them have defensive coordinator experience, and one of them doesn't, but he's doing very well. Obviously, you got Vic Fangio. He was defensive coordinator for San Fran 2011-2014, defensive coordinator for the Bears 2015 to 2018. He was recently the head coach of the Broncos, and now he is a defensive consultant for the Philadelphia Eagles. When he was with the 49ers from 2011-2014, top 2, top 3, number 2, number 3, number 10 defense. When he was with the Bears, it was 20, 24, and then it shot up number 9 and number 1 defense. So he's a very good defensive coordinator, a very well-rounded defensive coordinator. The other name on my list of potential defensive coordinators, if Boyer does get fired, Mike Zimmer. Now, he was defensive coordinator with the Cowboys from 2000 to 2006, defensive coordinator with the Falcons in 2007, was with the Bengals in 2008 to 2013, and he was the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Now, when he was the head coach of the Vikings, top 10 defense, except for maybe about 2 years when he was with the Vikings. With the Bengals, he had the number 19, number 6, 24, 9, 8, and 5. And then when he was with the Cowboys, good, he was 22nd, 20th, and all of a sudden it shot up to 3rd, 2nd. So he's a very good, well-rounded, experienced defensive coordinator. And then the other one is, I'm going to butcher this name, but he's currently the Denver Broncos defensive coordinator, and that is Iraro Evero. I'm so sorry. I butchered that name. But he's currently the current Denver Broncos defensive coordinator, and they have, in points ranked 14th, yards ranked 7th, turnovers ranked 14th, pass defense ranked 12th, rush defense ranked 10th, third down 2nd, and red zone 7th defense. Now, that is a top, if you take a median average of all those numbers, it's like a top 14th, 13th defense in the NFL. They have one of the most injured teams in the NFL. And he's got this defense going. So, but you're like, Doug, the Broncos he's a Broncos defense coordinator right now. Yeah, but they're about to get a new head coach. So that new head coach might want to bring in their own defensive coordinator, and if he becomes available, that's another guy I'd like to bring in, especially because of what he did with an injured defense, and especially what he did after they traded Bradley Chubb. So those are 3, and then Joe Witt Jr., Cowboys defensive back coach. Hearing very good things about him, especially what he's done with the defensive backs. He's a guy who, if we can't get an experienced guy, if we can't get the 3 that I really want in Fangio, Zimmer, and Evero, I will go with Witt Jr. Bring him in. Maybe you can bring back Alexander. Maybe he can come back and be our defensive coordinator. But that's if Josh Boyer's fired. If he's not fired, then and we run it back with him, then he needs to make the changes and he needs to be more disciplined in some aspects of his play calling. because sometimes it really, really drove me nuts when he would put his corners, who obviously we didn't have much experience back there because of the injuries, on islands because our pass rusher couldn't get there. But then you flip it, and when there's a shorter field, he would send stupid blitzes and leave guys open. It was a big flip-floppy with him. I understand that he did very well with what he had, but again, I can list off teams that had their defenses banged up that did better. Denver Broncos were one of them. So that's if Josh Boyer gets fired. Now, looking at other potentials, right? Austin Clark, the defensive line coach, he might be one that is let go because of how much talent we have on that defensive line, but how much we lack at getting the quarterback on the ground, right? Because Jalen Phillips gets a ton of pressure on him. Just can't get him down on the ground. So that's a name, I doubt he'd want to come back for the same position. But one of my favorite defensive line coach that the Dolphins ever had was Casey Rogers. And I don't think you're going to bring him back to do the same thing, maybe defensive coordinator. But again, when he was with the Jets, their defense wasn't too great. But needs a little bit change on the defensive line side. You also have the linebackers with Anthony Campanile, Steve Gregory. Linebackers didn't do great, so you might Ty McKenzie. They might be a change there. And another name that I probably, we have the question mark with Josh Boyer, but this name I probably expect him to be let go, is Danny Grossman, the special teams coach. 16th in yards per return, 22nd in kick return yards per return. The 16th on the punt isn't good, but the 22nd on, a lot of touchbacks. 24th in the NFL in field goal percentage, 27th in the NFL in kick return yardage, and 31st in the NFL in punt return yardage. That's where the problem is, right? Your field goals, your percentage is 24th in the NFL. That's not good. Cost us a few games, especially against the Jets. You're 27th in kick return yards. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with getting touchbacks. Kick returns aren't that easy anymore in the NFL. But your punt returns are 31st. You get no yardage off your punt returns. So I can see Danny Grossman being replaced. But again, I think the big name that we're really looking at right now is it's not Daryl Bevell. He ain't going nowhere, and I'm ecstatic with that. Is Josh Boyer. Will he or won't he be released? And if he is, and if they announce that, hey, we're moving on from Josh Boyer, Vic Fangio, Mike Zimmer, Avero are my top three candidates. In the order of Fangio, Zimmer, and Avero, 1, 2, 3, and then Witt is the only guy who doesn't have experience that I would bring on. But comment below. Let me know what you think. If I named any, coaches that you think should be released, comment below. And if you don't think Boyer should be fired, I can see where you're coming from, 100%. If you do, you throw a name at me. Who would you want to see as the Dolphins' new defense coordinator? If that does happen, comment below, and I'm going to get to one of you guys' comments of the day. And this one comes from Scott, and he says, comment of the day, Doug, what happened? What changes do you think need to happen on offensive coaching that mainly caused the offense to be off during San Fran and Chargers game that continued to spiral? So a very good question, because here's the thing though. San Fran game wasn't about the coaching. There was guys open. San Fran was about Tua. There's something going on with Tua. I don't know what. Again, I made a video asking that question, what's going on with him, yada, yada. San Fran game, there was nothing wrong with the scheme. Guys were open. Tua was just not getting in the ball. Chargers game, on the other hand, that's where they played the defense, which was severely banged up, played a way better game and shut down what Tua was comfortable with. And when they did that, it took Tua out of his comfort zone and kind of threw a monkey wrench in the game plan. So if I had to say what coaching changes need to be made, it needs to be quicker adjustments, right? You notice that, okay, they're taking away the middle of the field. Talk to Tua. Be like, look, you need to start looking for your checkdowns, because it doesn't seem like they did that. It doesn't seem like they made that coaching adjustment. They were like, no, it'll work. Just keep pushing the ball down the field, even though they are defending that, instead of throwing the underneath where they're giving you that. Because we have very good yak players, but we weren't using that because when I get into talking about Tua, and even when I talked about the year in review, we're very low ranked in the NFL when it came to yak, yards after catch. So that's where, so again, San Fran, it wasn't really the scheme. It was more Tua not seeing the open guys and Tua being completely severely off. And San Diego there wasn't the adjustments. But again, with Mike McDaniel, now he knows what he needs to do going into year 2. And now this is where he shows that he learned he can get better, because again, they went 9-8. They should have done much better than 9-8. Again, let's just say that everything pans out. We're 8-3. They should have definitely beaten the Packers, and they should have definitely beaten the Chargers, in my opinion. So best case scenario, they should have been 11-6. That's my thoughts on that. But yeah, hope I answered your question. Again, comment below, leave a comment of the day in the beginning so I can find it if you want to be part of comment of the day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Actually, later today. I'm going to make a video later today making the picks. And then tomorrow is the Tua video where I'm going to review Tua's 2023 season. And we're going to talk about what the future entails for him. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. I fins up.